We're live, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. So here's the big deal. Oh my God, crazy day. I went into the office to do with some Rona work, because we got to do things after hours sometimes. And the crazy thing is I had to just be there, just spend a little bit more time, a little bit more of that extra effort, but mostly to kind of prevent one of my friends and coworkers from coming in tomorrow because he's having an outbreak at home. Like his entire family's catching corona. So, you know, I just said, look, let me just go in there. We will rock and roll. We'll do everything, and then as soon as we're clear, I'll come back here and jump on the live stream, which is exactly what I did. So here I am, and lucky all of you. Hope everyone is having a delightful, fun Monday evening, and thank you for joining me for Monday Night Draw and Claw. We're trying to make this into a more and more regular thing. Give me 1 second here, because I need to get my claw. Everyone, we are. Hey, Skull Diamond. If you can do me a favor, start to monitor some of this because I am having endless difficulty now staying connected. Endless browser trouble. I want to kind of say I think it's Comcast. So any feedback along the way that you can provide outside of the normal channels would be very helpful. But hey, yeah, Texas is getting snow. It's so ridiculous. I love it though, because you know what? Texans should be able to experience a little bit of snow. I just love how a lot of these states aren't like four season, four weather states, and everyone just goes into a panic tizzy. We're launching right here with White Claw Blackberry. This is the mega, the 1 pint. I call these canisters, but this is what we're going to be getting into, and we have our trusty Yeti sipper here. The Yeti sippers they're just the essential drawing tool that you need in life because it comes with these awesome caps. See, and you sip it from there, and cheers. Yeah, so we should be getting a little bit of a guest hopefully soon, and if not, that's no big deal. We'll just do it all by ourselves. We'll have all of this fun just for you and me. And I don't know. I was kind of planning on doing this for a good stretch tonight. So I am already dealing with crow quill problems. So not only am I dealing with endless browser issues, I'm dealing with endless crow quill issues right now because I think I let my ink thicken up a little bit too much, and it's just not coming out the way that I need it. So, I mean, we can maybe lighten up the load a little bit with some water. But yeah, I mean, today's just one of those days, everyone. It is endless issues, just like all around the board. And yeah, I mean, see, I don't know what we are missing here when it comes to the ink just not coming out. When I'm clicking, like kind of in like a reliable status with my tools, I can go all night. I can go all night. I can go all day. My energy level just increases as I go along. But here we go. All right. So this is one of my tricks. I always let some of the initial ink out on my fingers. This is one of the reasons why I always have black fingertips and that sort of thing. It has nothing to do with me being a mechanic. Yeah, and we're working on Trial by Fire. So at the bottom of the screen, as most of you already know, TBF is available right now on Indiegogo. I have done close to zero promotion when it comes to Trial by Fire, and that's mostly because I hate to say it, but this comic is almost like my like like Hell's Angels. If you know the Howard Hughes reference, yeah, it's just crazy. It really is because I keep like I'll have like a baseline story, and then I'll be happy with it. I'll be comfortable with it. I'll draw the pages, and then I'll just toss it. I'll just toss it out when I realize it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. It's not strong enough. Like all of it, and I'm almost at that phase again, or like stage. I'll say not so much phase, and like I'm at that stage again, mostly because the original page set, like what I would call chapter one, a bulk of those pages are redraws, like not from my high school days, but same same layouts. And that was one of the big ideas that led me into Trial by Fire, which was to kind of complete this high school project of mine, using all my modern day resources. And now I kind of don't want those high school pages anywhere near this and this like baseline story, which is what I'm doing here. Like this is kind of chapter two exposition that explains a lot of what's actually happening within the world of Trial by Fire. So I may have to dump this ink and refill it because it is just giving me nothing but trouble. But this is a big exposition page. It explains a lot of yeah I would say like the science, but it's not real science. It's like comic book science, but it's just a way of explaining how almost like ridiculous like the idea of a multiverse really is, and how it just really doesn't apply to anything. Because originally, like one of our characters believes that they're in this like multiverse like war, and that's a lot of where like the title comes from. It's this guy Caesar, and he's just like he's a lot like us. I mean he's based on me while I was in high school. Hey, all my high school friends were wrestlers. I was so grateful that they were accepting of me. Yeah, just because they were just fun, dude. They were just like fun guys. And my high school was predominantly a wrestling school. So that's really what they were known for in South Jersey. That's kind of like what they built their legacy on. And just being friends with those guys, it was a little bit like royalty. And like the funny thing is, though, too, I think maybe like two of the four of them. Yeah, maybe two. No, like three. Like not all of them. I would say like all but two. Like they even meet, like never even met my parents. Never even like came over. Like we just always went out, always did stuff after school, and really connected within that senior year, which is maybe one of the reasons too why a movie like American Pie just resonates with me so much because it's like that's their senior year, and they're just like finding ways of just getting closer together. So that's a lot of what Twilight Fire is like all about. Yeah, and we're just messing around here with some exposition. I can already tell that this ink is way too thick. It's almost unworkable. Just pile it on. Not that I had like a bad day, but anyway, yeah. So Caesar is based on me, but he's also, like not me. But I just view like a lot of what he's doing in the book is what I'm doing with the actual creation of the book. And that's kind of where it's just like almost like too meta for me to even try and dissect. But yeah, so getting back to the Howard Hughes reference, it really is. I just feel like like I'm somewhat cursed with this book. Like cursed to get it done, cursed like to maybe like never finish it type stuff. It's scary. We're going to throw down some white out real soon. Let's see here. We are. Oh yeah. And welcome Twitch. We are definitely also broadcasting on Twitch tonight. I had to rotate the stack because nothing's hitting Twitter anymore. So live streams are now going to Twitch. Here we go. Yeah, and a lot of this too is I kind of was like working with this idea that like Caesar's face will always change. Like his hair will always change. His like sometimes what he's wearing will change from panel to panel. And that would be like a way to illustrate what's really happening within the book. So maybe I'm thinking too, because I buy, like a good supply of ink at a time. Like a good container of ink, and I'm thinking my entire supply of Black India ink just might be shredded, might be useless. Because see, like this is not even right. I mean, it's hard for us to even. So let me be right back, everyone. We will fix this. All right, we are back. We're back. We're back. All right, just dump that ink. Got me a refill. I keep my inking stuff in the bathroom because you have to wash things out. But see, look, already, you guys hear that? That quickly it comes back. See, it's all you have to know about your ink quality, like the actual. And here we go. We got just a big old smear here. Well, we'll wipe that out. So we're just not. We got ink everywhere now. We're just not having a good night. Hey, making comics is not. It's not easy, but being able to correct your mistakes is 1000% a part of the business of the comics. And not panicking. Because if you drew it once, guess what, boys and girls? You can draw it twice. Here we go. Yes, I can't believe that was all. Like, that was all the quality of the ink. Yeah, so if Trial by Fire does not reach its goal, because I'm still figuring out some of the promo for it. So if it relaunches, like clearly, like obviously, right, like the promo side will be way better, more robust, streamlined. Like I'll have so much more figured out. But before then, like I may just cut the campaign short, recalibrate, and almost by the recalibration, it would be to build the mail, like the sign up campaign, because the people who signed up originally never even got notified that I was going live. So like that's me being neglectful, taking on too much, and not prioritizing the least. Here we go. Yeah, I get asked a lot too where the idea for Trial by Fire came up. And there's like no answer. I don't really remember. I just remember there was a Journey album that I liked called Trial by Fire. So like that's where the title came from. And I reverse engineered a little bit of the meaning of the title. And then like there you go. And kind of along the years, as the years marched on, because I promote. It took me 24 years to get to this point. And along the way, I do promote that the book was kind of done in a very loose, like kind of what I call the Image Comics style, not so much the '90s style. Really just going artwork first, exposition later, and that's it. Like it's set pieces. Like we got up the action, so we need some like new revelations, new explanations, and we just take it from that point. So that's a lot of the actual process. The page I'll be working on after this is a definition of that process, where I felt like I needed some better action shots to sell the book with. So that's what I did. I just sat down, redid the Rob Liefeld sequence. Because Rob Liefeld does know. You can say what you want about Liefeld. He knows how to sell a book. He really does. Yeah, and just take it from there. And we are doing as much of TBF in a crow quill as possible. One thickness, one size, and we're going for it. And in my opinion, too, that's a part of the 90s style, 90s definition. And like the hook is that, like you use your modern day capabilities to tell the story you always wanted to, but then you kind of have a lifetime of learning about story, learning about plot, you know, like how to roll in characters into a story, how to introduce this, introduce that. So you do let that stuff creep in too. So, you know, like you try and honor it being done in the 90s, but at the end of the day, you know, like it's not going to be exactly that. But you focus on 90s style, which is energy, line work. You know, like I just really I always go for a kinetic atmosphere when I draw. You know, like I just don't want things to look normal or static. And even at this time, I would say I'm about 15 pages behind. And part of the issue for that too is I never mapped out a time frame because I was kind of dealing with issues with the skate deck, and I was dealing with issues with my other book, Uzi Susie. And that's a little bit what I said earlier about maybe taking on too much, which is something I will never admit. But Uzi Susie, I'll still argue that book was so critical for me to get going because a lot of the publishing issues are worked out with her first because she is a mini comic. I get to test vendors with her, test paper types, like all of it. Even vendors for what the incentives would be, like the stickers and bookmarks and whatever. Not that I would ever do a bookmark. There's no way I would do a bookmark. I would most likely do something else that could double as a bookmark. So here we go. All right. So we got a little something going here. Now I am not drawing Caesar's clothes yet because I haven't really figured out what he's wearing in this scene. But I know he's not wearing anything from the neck up. So there you go. Just checking my phone. That's all. Doing the phone thing. And everyone too, don't forget, catch me on TikTok. We gotta run the promo, aka pad right there on TikTok. So let's go, aka pad. We do a lot, a lot of good videos already. Lot of views. One of them went viral, got 14K from one of my TikToks. Yeah, so the reason too is the reason why like Caesar would be, and it's not just Caesar, it's like all the characters of TBF. Like one of the reasons that they would keep shifting in appearance is because they are kind of slipping in and out of different streams of reality. And I kind of would want to illustrate that, like figuratively, literally, like I would like to have a way to show that off. And so that was one of the ideas I was playing with, and I started to implement it. And like that's a little bit where we are with that. So I really have to see it through. The problem is I still need some exposition for it to explain it the right way. Because the one thing I do pride myself on for TBF is not the artwork. It's just some of these like multiverse, dimension, string theory ideas that I think Trial by Fire takes a little bit more care with than other attempts at that type of fiction. And I say care, and by care I mean there's a level of research in it all. So take that. There's a level of research. There's a level of study. Yeah, your boy over here is not lazy. There we go. I think we are definitely getting there. And one of my inking rules is I kind of do this Danny Mickey move where I kind of don't do like full blacks. I try and do the brush as little as possible, and I just I hatch my blacks, and then I go in with white out and add some stippling. See, like even here. So see, this is a good instance where I will take out the brush just to make something pop before I move on, just so I can kind of go to sleep at night. Because a lot of times too, when I work on a page, I just kind of I go back and forth with it so much. Like I'll just like force myself to do things, and I'll come back and go do something else and come back. Like it makes you obsessive like that. We're also inking this on smooth and not uh, tooth or vellum. We are on smooth to speed us up just a little. But the rapidiographs do not work well with this. So there you go. All right, so we're going to move on to the Big Daddy page right here. We're going, you know what? I'm just going to save the, I don't need to white it out. We'll white it out later. So a little bit before, my issue that happened with the ink before was really for me leaving the cap off of my ink jar. Maybe for a night. Like, you know, like that's the difference of it thickening and like getting thick. Depends on the quality and the type of ink. I'm not really a straight up expert on the quality of the ink or like the variables, but you know, sometimes it takes longer. Maybe it was a little bit longer before I even realized. So this is Pitbull here. Pitbull just literally got incinerated. So like all of his skin and you know cool stuff is just like hanging off of him. give him some like blackish nails. And this is essentially Pitbull failing at his mission right here. His mission is to, it sounds funny, but it's to retrieve a crystal. But the crystal has the final light of the final universe in it. And that is, it's not really our MacGuffin. It's just kind of like the, the generator of the next adventure, which will lead into, all the other TBF storylines. Because TBF is definitely an epic. A little bit of the claw. All right, everyone. I think I'm just going to tune up his face here and then make moves to get the heck out of here. I will be continuing this piece, so you can catch me on the Instagram. A lot of updates there. And you can see this finished page. But in the meantime, if you can, please support and promote Trial by Fire. And if you don't, that's okay too. But the best way you can help me is if you don't want to spend money, you can always promote me. I think that's a fair exchange. Cool. Everyone, thanks. Thanks for hanging out. Rock and roll. We will we'll pick this up again soon.